Good morning. Alright, I'll turn that stuff off. We should be able to get that. No? That camera on. Okay, excellent. So, I want to work on the client again, and that means I want to not be dropping lots of very, very short lives on the main servers, which means I need to update my local stuff. So I had a local copy for us looking at things. It's not necessarily a bad place to be doing it, actually. So we've got one life. And this is just, this is just a line ending issue. I don't even think I can clear this. You mind typing? Alright, this is this is still just git pull. Alright, and this is the main thing. So this is where I want to check for any... no, I should have done a fetch first so I had a better handle on where I was. But the main thing I want to look for is like new settings or migration files I might need to pay attention to. I know the latest one is going to be mostly about tutorial stuff, so that's going to be the last couple days worth. And I think it's been at least 2 weeks since I worked on this. Linode, pull and build test system. Well, that should show up. You know, if I grab that script to put it into my copy, that should show up as a difference. Yep. So that'll take care of a lot of that stuff. Yeah, game source settings tutorial done. I'm going to need that when I go to work on the client. Allow saving speech. Oh, that's for his little GIF thing. That was for the previous update. This is all the wound recovery stuff. Work linear band. It doesn't have. They're not super relevant to those for what I'm doing. And actually, if I look at the dates on anything here, really, is that? Oh. Okay, actually, it's been longer than I thought. Tutorial relevant for the client. Oh, the food multiplier. I don't see any settings directly in here. Death stagger time. I think that's just a fixed thing. Changelog. Yeah, so now we're almost caught up with where we were before. All right. I don't think there's anything huge there. One life data. And then it was minor gems. All right, so this is any reference code I need should be here. Now what we want, I might need a separate context, which it doesn't duplicate. Actually, can I do? Yeah, there we go. So we've got Docker. And that should do the local fetch, I think, as part of the build process anyway. But the things we want to be watching out for are local, is it server? No, it's scripts. We were using for some reason, this is like cramping the top here. Pull and build test system. Pull and build latest. So we want to grab you. Oh. Oh, that was the wrong. I got used to working on it. Not the name, the file. No. I guess that changed my selection. Okay. Pull and build latest. Oh, maybe I got that from somewhere else. All right, well. Oh. Okay, I actually apparently forgot to commit something here. Oh, that might have been, yeah, that was a little change I did. Git add. Configure settings. Missed food rate update from last time. Oh, not AM. Do that a lot. All right, and now we actually have pull and build test system in where the linking stage. So many files. Pull and build latest, I think, is just a reference file. Well, I wonder if that was in a different directory. Well, I mean, it should be. How about we go here? Oh, it is there somewhere. I can grab it, although the Unix source might be a sort of a one-time export he did. Oh, nope, it's been updated. Oh no, it has not been updated. Okay. One build test system. Tutorial maps from data. So I need to see where, like, data version number ended up. And unfortunately, we've got all the source code here. So this looks like a likely candidate. This is in server context. There's pull and build test system. So it's... Okay, so tutorial maps do not... Yeah, that's the client stuff, that's the server stuff. So it looks like that might be a server-only thing. So it would not need to be in linked client directories. We added it to build server. And I don't think there was any major new settings we need to worry about. So how'd this go? Build. You know what? I may have been doing build server run. I may have been doing local fetch manually. Just so that everything is already up to date when we run our build. Oh, that's right. I shut down Docker because I was going to be offline for a little bit. Didn't want any extra processes running. There we go. And then we'll hope the database is compatible. I don't have to go change that. Okay, didn't do a whole lot of work there. Nope, those red things aren't important. All right, server. And built stuff, pull out just the pieces we need into the server. And I guess I don't know that 118, 117 is right. We'll have to hope on that. And we can get a server up, maybe. Oh, this is where we check. Okay, stale map cells. Yes, we configured to turn off that. I guess I didn't check for a whole... There shouldn't be a whole lot of like new server references or anything in the settings. I don't think I saw anything like significant like that. Alright, so now we go back to the other PC and we turn off that computer. Alright, so we're setting up this thing. No, I had it in offsite, you know, it's sort of some primary stuff. So now we need to update source code here. Alright, we actually have 2 here. Yes, let's see now, we are on get status. Untracked files. Yeah, we were on Edge autorun. So I need to merge in, which is going to be the interesting part. Yeah, you're being annoying. Okay, I think there seems to have been no conflicts. So we've got one life data. Okay, just update that. And minor gems. All right, one life. We had build. So we definitely want, and probably Windows directory could go really, because that is now an out-of-date copy. Possibly the rest of it could go as well, but. So now I have to remember what were the build commands. Let's go ahead and do you. Test server. Compile notes. And I ended up finding some other people that had Oh yeah, this is Unix based. Oh, and I need the there were a couple of these, weren't there? MinGW. msys.bat. So this is your own little home thing. What is it? C. Alright, so we had... Seems like there were like a couple layers of configure. It's like you had this, and then we're mostly dealing with game source. Does that have its own configure? Does not seem to. Okay, you're okay. And then maybe it's game source make? Oh, and then there was the make distribution thing, which takes a very long time. Where was that script? Is that game source, or is that scripts? So many scripts. Maybe something at base level? Wait, too far. No. Well, there was a thread on doing a Windows build. I think that's where I was getting stuff last time. Unfortunately, search is kinda terrible. Windows client. Cross compilation of Windows client with VirtualBox. Editor is close. Compiling on Windows sounds about right. configure. Ooh, I ended up having to edit some stuff last time. We'll see how that works. And then, oh, it is in build. Oh, what were we at? Uh, 118. Then we need to tweak all the settings in that distribution so that we have, well, I think we're going to need to turn off the tutorial. I mean, we might be able to work with the tutorial, but that's something I'll tackle later. Turn off all the reporting services and interactions. Oh, this is the wrong shell. Just in case it matters. That's maybe, I probably don't even need that. Alright, so this is going to be a bit. Now, I'm going to need to refresh myself on exactly what the problems were. I know that I was like either triggering or not triggering it when I expect it to be. So I'm almost wondering if I should go back to the original version where it was just, you know, if you happen to be at the edge of the screen when a refresh came up and put it into autorun mode. I think I was having trouble triggering it. And I guess triggering when you don't intend is going to end in one of those things that kind of happens. Well, at least with the automatic edge. Or assuming it still does the automatic edge. Game source was living life. Was pretty much for all the code. Ended up. And I ended up doing a lot of stuff with mouse down. Yeah, default value. This was... Yeah, this is the auto stuff. This is reach destination. This is pointer down, maybe? Pointer down. This is the trigger if we are in the edge. Mouse up, turn it off. Okay. So I'm going to have to try and get a better sense of exactly where it's going wrong. And we're still building. I kind of need interactive feedback to really do anything with this. Building, 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 building. I guess this is our central thing right now. That's right. I was kind of playing around with the launch of Discord just so it would say the streaming status. And why do you keep putting me in the audio? That's something I don't understand. For some reason, whenever I launch Discord, it throws me in the audio in my own server. Is there like an option for that? Voice and video. No, that's a server setting. Ah, new member messages channel. Okay. So I could move that somewhere else. How we doing? Okay. Alright, so there's that. We're still building. Alright, your background volume right now, and that's a very loud song as well. Rearrange some windows. So many layers. Hey, we're done. Alright, build. Windows. Settings. Auto login. Well, no, not yet. We actually have to configure some things first. Let's make it really easy. Custom server address is going to be my other computer. Custom server port should be fine. Speed control might be a thing. I probably don't need full screen actually. Okay, hard to quit mode is not on. Reflector. Is there like a thing for use reflector, or do I need to turn it off there? Alright, and we're actually able to do stuff now, so we don't need the background music. Review server URL. Tutorial done. We'll save that for later. Use custom server. So yeah, URLs. Reflector URL. Don't need to bother the main game with any of this stuff. Well, use custom server probably takes care of that. Alright, so our initial build then. Oh yeah, we have to do A at B dot C, blah blah blah. Login failed. Why did our login fail? Web request failed to look up. What? Run? Request reflector failed. Oh, I wonder if it like times out. Interesting. Okay, sure. Alright, so we're in Eve. We've got our custom client stuff. So that seemed to work just fine. Is this a full screen thing? Oh man, with full screen off, I can't even get it into full screen mode. Alright, well. Auto login. Now that we've got all our fields set up, we should be able to do that. We want to try turning full screen off, see if that affects how things work, or full screen on. Fortunately, it's going to screen blank. Maybe I was clicking too early when I was playing before? Or maybe there's some lag introduced by being on the live server? Because I don't seem to be having any trouble with activation. Maybe it's more a case of if there's like an object at the edge and I click on the object. Well, I don't have anything to debug yet. Alright, looks like I'm going to have to go back to playing at some point and then actually take better notes on exactly what was frustrating me. But I should now have an up-to-date build so I can do that. So at least when I'm not running around trying to actually do stuff. And I guess that's an option. Alright, so I've run around a lot. Let's, Ooh, he blocks Alt F4 apparently. Let's try to get a sense of where this is. I don't know that we'll be playing long enough to need seeds, but we'll have a couple seeds anyway. And technically I was using my other... Oh, I was using my other controller. Oh, which doesn't recognize this. One moment. We need to set up my little Logitech pad to recognize this as a game it should be using this control set for. Oh, and hey, it's actually on here. 1 hour, 1 life. Properties? So we're gonna need offsite, 1 life, build, Windows, 118, 1 life. Okay. Alright. Get this back into full screen, which is where we were running into this before. Oh, it's something about the way this sends keys. No? Well, I mean, I did have an issue going this way. No, that ran. Huh. We did seem to have something going on there. Alright, okay, well, there's some reeds there. Oh, there's also boar now. Branches we'll need at some point. Actually, I'm gonna need a rock. Hey, look, how's it going? I wasn't able to reproduce the issues I was having, so I'm just gonna try playing for a little bit to see if I can trigger it off. Although, this default static start spot does seem to be a little lacking in rocks. Also, I'm not doing anything with eating because I've got the hunger turned way down, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. There's definitely a reeds if I could find a rock. Ah, there's some rocks. Also, I think I saw a sapling over here. So I can make myself a proper home marker at that spawn place. Let's see if we can find it again. How are you doing today? Okay, well there's one of the bodies. That's one of the branches. This is near, I forget which, yeah, here we go. Except now I need another rock. As far as I know, well, I'm gonna try some different directions. As you get the autorun going. Yeah, that was working fine. So maybe it's something to do with the delays in the real game. I don't know. There we go. So just trying to see if I can trigger off some of the weird behaviors I was seeing last time I played with it, and it seemed like it just wasn't working well. So now I need to go get the rest of our fire starting stuff going, and I guess even with the reduced hunger, I might need food at some point. Alright, so actually that's just one piece of rope, not... I should have brought my thread with me. Be a little bit easier to craft on the go. That'll get one piece of rope, then maybe I can return. Yeah, actually, no. I can combine you. And then grab that, and... The start location's actually pretty good. Well, I guess I haven't been looking for desert, which isn't as much of an issue for me here. Let's see. So, we actually want to start with the fire bow drill, because that won't use up our sharp stone. Is there something hiding back there? No, I guess not. Alright, you're in there, you're in there. Actually, I got my 2 ropes, so if we happen to run across a branch... I'm gonna have to go find another rock. And this isn't actually... Well, I wanted to home marker the place where you spawned. If I was setting up a camp, I might want to actually do it somewhere else. Let's try a different direction just for kicks. Get our auto run going. This seems like not a promising place for rocks. Might need to slow down a bit here because this could be wolves. Actually, I wanted a sharp rock. And since rocks seem to be a little bit rare in the starting spot, alright, get below this stuff. Yeah, autorun. I guess I'm just not under the stress of a normal game. Maybe I'm clicking differently. Because I got the food turned down just so I can focus on testing stuff. Alright, so got that. I don't, soil. I mean, I can go a little bit farther, but it's and actually, even the sharp stone isn't as important. Well, no, because next thing is going to be to get some adobe. So I guess with the food rate as it is, founding in a desert wouldn't be as important. There is some desert stuff over there. Well, there's a little bit over there. I'm not sure if there's actually anything right near that starting spot. Wait. No, that's not desert. There's Arctic. Kind of the opposite of what I need there. No, this is 1 hour, 1 life. One moment. However, well, you buy access to the primary servers, which I am not on right now. But it is the source code is available, and if people want to try custom mods and things. What I'm doing is custom client mods, so the ability to kind of push the screen here is something I added because I often felt like somebody would put me down and like all the actions happening over this way as they're doing things, and it's like I want to know what's going on, and to do that in the normal game you kind of have to walk back and forth to try and rearrange your position. And the second thing is that normally moving is like click, 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 and then to keep running, you're like constantly clicking, 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 and it was kind of aggravating my wrist a bit. So I've been trying to set it up so that if you click over on the edge of the screen, it adds an auto run mode. And last time I tried it in the actual game, it was kind of activating at the wrong times and not activating when I did want it. And of course now, when I'm in the lab, everything's fine, so I'm just trying to kind of do some stuff to see if that changes things. Now, I'm not under, I've got like food turned way down so I don't have things dinging at me while I'm trying to work. Actually, I've only got 1 piece of reed here, so this is actually not great for getting adobe. We can grab the clay. Oh, but I still need the sharp rock to cut down the reeds. There we go. Oh, other way. I think. Oh, no, that was the adobe. Alright, so I got 2 adobe. I need 3 for a kiln. There we go. You know what? I did the first time I did this. Okay, so two things. I did have the server shut down for some reason the first time I tried to log in. And I am actually running a Docker. The server is in a Docker on my OS X laptop. So it's, I think when I tried to do the Windows server, there was some kind of crash. Which is one of the reasons I wasn't doing that. And I have not tried to go back and revisit it because I've got a pretty easy other option. Oh, and that's right, I was originally looking for see if there was a desert place to actually do city stuff, even though it's not as important for me. So, like, yeah, I can just, you know, eat the occasional berry and be fine for quite some time. And it's starting to fetch a big rock to... Okay, so that's Arctic. That is not what I'm looking for here. This might not actually be a great spot, but with my turned down food, it's not going to matter that much. Some more mountain. I should get my autorun going. There's like one little bitty patch of desert that's kind of inconvenient spot. I mean, it would be a place to stick kids and get a little bit of warmth. Well, not actually. Kids aren't an issue. It's a private server running on my local network. Okay, so if you were doing it for real, well, here's a desert. I don't know, and I need to watch out for rattlesnakes. Like that one. You'd want this to actually be near some water. Which just does not appear to be especially near water. Oh, and I appear to have a problem with sound effects in this build. Interesting. Oh, no, there it is. It just... how it triggered. Yeah, so I don't think there's necessarily a perfect spotter. Well... no. Yep. Another rattlesnake. So there's reeds. That's not much water. Got a lot of baskets though. Oop. What are you doing? Did my server just go away? I put the basket down somewhere, and it's in an impenetrable spot. Well, I might be able to cut through the reeds. I don't know. Remember if they stay blocking. We're gonna have to go sharpen another rock. We could also just make another basket. Yep, it's a boar. I've heard those are bad news. You're not gonna have any rocks. I could definitely make a new basket. I'm just curious if I can actually get this out. I need to turn off the autorun. So if I remove you, and sure, we can make another basket as long as we're here, although that baskets decay. Can I? Oh man, that is completely tree locked. Huh. Pick that up, please. Alright, so, pick up the basket, please. Given that I have greatly reduced food usage anyway, the desert founding isn't super important. And it's like, I can get some water kind of near some desert over here. I don't know if it has access to any starter foods. So it'd be the kind of thing where you might have to start somewhere else with all of the liabilities of that. Oh man, a wolf in the desert? I guess there's some mountain over here. Found some more rocks though. Alright, it's clear enough. We should be able to dodge any snakes. And there's the odd little patch of desert around. Not really enough to be usable. But that could be an option. Yeah, like up here, there's like one... It's a little bit warmer. So, I mean, maybe you could build stuff over there. So that if it was a real camp, you or your kids would have some place to stand. Although it's a little bit crowded, so you'd have to kind of get to the axe and things. You know what? Actually, it's the round rock we need right now. And one of my old bodies can be moved out of the way. And this can be moved out of the way. So that will eventually disappear. That's a possible stand and wait spot, which... so I was like, this is like really crowded, but it's the only place that's kind of... I mean, it's probably going to still process just a little bit off screen. But like, this is like kitty corner to something there. Makes me a little nervous. Alright, well, I don't know how long I can really go here. I haven't run across any real problems yet. So I might have to switch back to some of my other projects for the rest of the morning. And then when I play this, which might be today or tomorrow, we'll have to see how things are going. Then I'll have to see how it is actually performing in more of a live fire situation. Oh well. So I know I was like feeling like it just didn't work when I was playing for real the other day. Or, well, it was a few weeks ago now. But I was just, in the low pressure situation there, it seemed to be going fine. So what are we going to, what is our other, oh, oops, okay. What indeed is our other project then? So I had a thing come up that the Oni gas color mod is broken, but that could turn into a huge project, and I think I kind of need to deal with some other stuff first. Oh, that one is done-ish, I think, until we actually use it and get some experience. We need to do some testing on you, but you should be good for a while. That is kind of low priority too. So I was doing some stuff on what are you? Yeah. So I know I'd started to do some little quality of life things in the YouTube alarm. Plus, I want to double check how the expire behavior goes. So we are going to need to switch gears. So we are going to go Elm, YouTube, chat alarm. This is no longer going to be game modding. Update that. Oh, no, actually, we were doing that. All right, so you're updated. You're updated. I can go ahead and reuse this window. We are done with that editor. We are done with that compiler window. I can probably switch. That is actually a reactor that I can use. We can probably switch this one. Over to you. And then I actually need another one of these. To do monitoring for change. Not really working on it. So we had this up already to watch for stuff. And I think, yeah, we were actually in the middle of doing some changes. So I'll need to kind of wrap up this change and then get back to you. We're going to need to be in there for that stuff, and I don't need MSys anymore. And it's probably a good time to take a break while we're at it. Make sure I've stretched and water and stuff is topped off. So I'll be back in a few minutes.
A lot of time, alright? I'm still lagging. I'm putting everything to low. No, but it's because you need to. How much RAM do you have? 8. Alright, just go. Just go to settings, or I mean your control delete. If you go to there, you go to the details. You need to go not to details. Just go to details.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. If we dig this out, fertilizers are off. Yeah, these fertilizer synthesizers are turned off. That's intentional, because we didn't. We've got this section, and that one's going pretty strong. As far as it goes, the only reason they're all active right now is because we had a backup in the bathrooms. Usually they barely run. I
God dang it. Not today, Death. Few more laughs, laughs cry. No. Did you even follow? I think you could, yeah, you have followed.
14 strength. That's pretty sweet. But is that what they started with? Because that doesn't get boosted up, right? As far as I know. Okay, so we need to do some more debugging. So the issue is when it comes out here, it wants to go in either direction. So when it comes out, I think we need to make sure. But why would it ever try and go backwards?
Alright, and I realized I've got to turn the camera back on after switching over here. Oh. Maybe the first hints of allergy season already. Alright, and this is something out of date. That will, if we ever do a relogin. Actually, that's interesting. Since I've changed the title, does it still count as the same stream? Okay, that gets it. This is also just a general... and... resilience over time issue. Make sure it's actually still polling for things. Yep, okay. So you are picking that up. So the thing I was concerned about here is that if the token expires... Well, no, first we have to finish what we were doing. We'll get back to that in a moment. So we were doing toggle pop-up, and yep, and then my internet died. So we extracted those functions, set up a checkbox, and we've gotten messages to deal with. View, live chat ID, pop-up notification. Okay, I probably haven't added that to the model yet. Pop-up notification active. Pattern not found. Is that because I haven't loaded the view file yet? Yeah, I guess it only uses loaded files. Alright, and then we have to init that. Now we need to... Yep, we need to deal with the case for it. Update. Toggle audio notice. I guess we would do that. It would make more sense to do here. Toggle pop-up notification. Pop-up notification active. Not pop-up notification active. So that will get it to compile. And then notification.send. If messages received and not initial batch and model dot pop up notifications active. All right, so now we need to do if they are active. Oh, helps to reload, doesn't it? I guess I really need to do that. Eh. Okay. Wasn't long enough for a ding, and then if we turn them off, and there's no notifications. All right, so that appears to be good. Toggle pop-up notifications. All right, now we are in a stable place. So I want to look at what happens if we token expired. Yeah, we do not. So we actually have to do this as more of that. So we still got some of that code hanging around. So auth expires, auth equals nothing, and command dot none. So that we automatically log out. So since it's expired, there's no real need to revoke the token. Do we have any other auth information we might need to keep track of? And unfortunately, since it kind, well, I mean, I could fake the timeout to have it expire sooner. So I think the issue is that since we still had an auth, which was now invalid, it was sending that with requests and causing it to fail. But you'd actually have to have an expired token for that to test that. Which means waiting an hour, basically. Just auth expires. Refresh. Yeah, so I think that's all the important information. So I can dummy up token expired. To be Maybe give it a few more seconds so we can see it. Alright, now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to reload this. And then log in over there. Oh, I actually did a log out before, so that fully removed the excess. Yep, so then it disappeared that. And now this is not a very good test, but we know we should be able to get it without that token. Yep. So put you back to normal. Clear OAuth token when it expires, so we don't try to send invalid credentials. Now, did I? Yeah, that's actually should have been done before. Remove, finished. Do item. Alright, so the next thing would be option to save these couple of settings. And we have no... Oh, we do have a persist. Ah, yes, the auth state. Oh, and you know what? Now that I'm not trying to reload and use that OAuth token because we got the chat ID, I can go over into my YouTube ID, check OAuth state, put that back just for buffer delete. So we're actually checking our states and doing OAuth tokens. So we want to persist, well, keep notification, model, basically these. Which means that now all our encoders and decoders need to be updated. So object, so that's the decoders can cause the type errors. Pop up notification active. I think I can just make these default to just have defaults. And this is a bool. And that is going to be very similar for audio notice active. And actually more similar to that. Audio notice idle is going to be an int. Oop. That would be a subtle little bug. Alright, so I need to see how we map a default value. It's not nullable. Oh, maybe Fuzzy doing that, right? No, that's decoding a maybe. Oh, this is no encode is fine. We always write it. It is decode that gets interesting. So you're going to be a map 4. Notification active is going to be a bool. Yeah, just bool. Nope. Audio notice active and audio notice idle is going to be an int. Now, is there a map and encode as well? Oh, it's the persist in my main notification. Persist constructor here, and we actually construct an instance of it. Model dot pop notification active, model dot audio notice active, model dot audio notice idle. It's a little bit weird because they're already using indent. Alright, so that will compile. It won't actually load and save its state. Now, I guess the consequence there is we just have an invalid load. We lose our auth state once, which would be inconvenient at the wrong time. But if we just, like, load twice... Oh, and we actually have to import this when loading. Because I'm the only user of this so far. So, loaded, resolve loaded. Is this after? Didn't I have a model field for the loaded token? Oh, request state is the one we've newly generated. Response state just checks against loaded and is or isn't. Yeah, is there. Captured from the URL. Okay, so that's state. So we need to load the rest of these fields regardless. Was I perhaps doing that before? No. Let's see how this looks. M2 model or and we do that. Pop-up notification active equals state dot pop-up notification active audio notification active equals state dot audio notification active, and audio notice idle equals state dot audio notice idle in how is that already indented? Did it already compile? Alright, so now that we've loaded, and that would have blown my state, so we wouldn't actually have the login limit. Don't need it right now. So we set this to something. Oh, none of these are set up to persist. Update. So these are going to be pretty much all UI events. Notice that we set the idle. They're all command.none, so we can actually go and use, I guess it's the same thing as the command. Persist. Okay, so that one was actually a little bit long to begin with. So maybe for parity. Uh-oh. Ah, left a parenthesis there. All right, so the updated code. That didn't persist nothing. So is that a problem with saving or a problem with loading? That appears to be, ooh. Oh, are we doing something that's overwriting it before? Well, that shouldn't stop loaded from happening, but. Oh. Case debug.log loaded. Okay, nothing. Yeah, I believe that. Just state. True, true. Well. False, false. So somewhere we're persisting something. Oh. I made a new model. It helps if we actually use it. Response state, don't care. I mean, properly speaking, we should be using M2 down here for some of this stuff. Helps if you actually load your code. Yep, and now we've got full state preservation. I still have a debug log here. State mismatched with nothing. That's maybe I shouldn't consider that case. Worth printing for. And let's take checks off a note. Save configurable fields. All right. So to make this something we could publish, and we want to, so I can kind of use my other social link stuff as a baseline, but I'm going to want to take, and I guess, oh, yep, we've got a selection 3. Yeah, so for this one, we've actually got a bigger YouTube thing. But this is more in line with the other icons. There's a download button. All right, so the structure of this is, okay, directly into there. Let us take that to you. I do not have a work directory yet. And I was removing the number from this because occasionally I update things and it changes the number of icons. So this is actually different. It's not as easy to just copy paste from my other things. Although I could reference other things for how they're set up. So given any random app that's going to have stuff like this, we've got no index. So body, just we stick all the SVGs in there. Index body. All right, so we need all the icomoon. I guess demo. Yeah. And this is still body here. All right, so cross window paste. Oh, Yep. Actually, this doesn't need to be cross-window paste. So it's in my same project. Alright, so we got the SVGs in there. Now the other thing that was hairy, oh, in the view, we got a little bit of CSS. So we do the colors for these. Oh, and I've already done links in this one, I think. Yep. View, where we do the CSS. Yeah, so we got our links. So there's not icon Twitch, there's a YouTube, which I guess if I go over there, we can grab that red. Oh, that's an entire logo. So let's assume that that is background. Selected. There we go. Background color. And it looks like that is CC181E. Other code we need. Actually, the footer will probably grab as well. Actually, might as well. Okay, so they're not all together. So somewhere down in the dregs of this stuff. So we have icon. We're going to have a footer very much like this, although I think I might change my naming convention to a footer view. So this is going to be YouTube chat notification, I'm pretty sure. Well, that gets the text in there. However, since this is YouTube, or a YouTube tool, makes more sense to do that. And this is where I have to look. Where do we get to? View channel? There we go. Now, I seem to recall that I need to bring in... Oh, I thought I needed like a SVG attribute for this. No, because I'm still in this file. Yeah. And I need that for the icon. This is where I was thinking maybe having a little file that did that, although I'm still going to have to install SVG for this. Well, it's like the icon, the exact stuff in the footer can change, so I can't necessarily have a file that's just that. Although I could have a file that's that, and I edit it. I might be able to... Well, if I do text, it will probably escape HTML stuff. Does the HTML library... I have an inner HTML. All right, so CSS is easy. Put in text. I'm assuming that the SVG tags of... Well, maybe we set this up normally and then see if there's a way to extract it to more towards a library. Why are you changed? Alright, let's go with HTML. We're going to have to elm package install. Is it elm lang? Alright, so got you, got you, got you. We actually have to call our footer. View model, model.messages. It's also going to be an adjusting layout. Chat area, bottom. This shouldn't need as much space. Width 90. I don't have a... Oh, it's just pinning top and bottom. Alright, what's it going to be unhappy about? Oh, okay. Sorted itself out. No. Oh, I can moon there. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why are those giant? Did IcoMoon change something in their code? Oh, you know what? I'm going to need to pin the footer as well. Maybe IcoMoon changed something in their code? IcoMoon demo.html. You've got a style. Oh, I never added icon. Which I should have had in the other file, actually. Yep. I missed you. Yep. I probably erased it. Yep. Now, what we're also going to have to do is we're going to have to take footer, and we're going to have to do position absolute bottom 0. There we go. Actually, so that red looks a little bit weird. Unfortunately, there was no like second color for this in the dark color scheme. Okay, so you can't like do a little white bit. Oh well. You know, I'm not actually sure I like that as a footer in this one. Because that's where your main chat area is. So that might actually just go in the header. Oh. And then footer. Oh, we need to make sure that you that background color also makes the links a little strained. What would that look like? That will still impinge on the chat area. Now we could do background color, and we want something just a little bit off dark so it's separate. Of course, that might be about what we're on currently. I guess for that I could actually go, because pure black could still be an offset if it's not pure black. That's not even visible. Okay, that's distinct, and now what we need to do is so at your top, and unfortunately this does vary with how big that top area is. Needs to cut off a little bit sooner. All right, so we got a basic setup. Hit add work. Oh, this was a note as well. And time is still doing pretty good. Oh, you know what? I should possibly even stick these all the way at the top. So they're kind of out of the main way. Social. Now the degree to which this blends out is so it's no longer a median there. I'm almost wondering if I should make that white now. So we get the YouTube color contrast. I mean, maybe a little bit off-white, but I don't want to be too bright. No, we want like F, E. I forget how far I have to go before it becomes not blinding. If you're working at night. Oh, and then the GitHub color, I think, becomes more of a dark color. GitHub. Yep, not updated yet. There we go. I mean, that might even be black. I don't know. Well, they do white on here. Yeah, they're keeping this header style. So one might presume that this background color is actually GitHub color. Two 292E, which maybe even too specific. But it's a nice dark color. Ooh. Yeah, so social highlight needs to be something different. Link visited, hover active. One Jellybean, thank you for the host. Dot social, and we actually have to do dot social. So that was a bright color, I guess. CC. Go towards the dark color. Yeah. Okay. All right, add social links. Didn't miss anything. Now I wanted to play around with is, can I make sort of like an icon module to streamline some of this copying? So for that, what we'd have to do, well, the first test is index, be in body, Be in tag. In tag. No, we can just do yank here. View. We need the icons. Pixel Logic Dev, thank you for the host. Get the icons in here. And then we want to see what happens if we just do a straight up text icons. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Maybe Virtual DOM has the escapes and HTML doesn't. Attribute. It will escape the string, so we have a non-escaped string. Oh, a freshman body. Okay. I'm not sure. Audio and video, embedded, text edit, semantic text. Most common marking tags. Escape the text. Property attribute. Style. So it's looking like the only way to do this would be to transliterate this, assuming that all of the SVG tags were available in Elm. Into Elm code? Which is annoying because I can't just copy paste it. You know, every time I need a new icon, it's not just copy paste anymore. Width, height, overflow, version, schema. The view box could change for some of them, but otherwise it is just, well, path, title, symbol ID. So you could probably get Elm to manage it. It would just take some doing. So the only things that we could modularize would be icon with its SVG references. You'll still have to include the SVG library. Oh, hey, it worked. Thank you for the test. Although it's a little bit muddy right now. And And for some reason, Restream isn't picking that one up yet. So let's get this out of here. Since that's not working. And we've got plug zoom. Is the YouTube interface actually... Weird, didn't actually show up there. Are there... Interesting. Well, I guess having the text to the icons is a little bit moot, because the icons might change every time. But then some of the CSS for the icons is also going to be dependent on which icons you have. So including an icon would be including the text for the icon and the style sheet. Somewhere a little bit out of band. So I might have to go to the Elm Discord and inquire about that. But for now, I don't think I can do any... I could pull like icon... social is going to have things get edited every time. Get status, get reset. So we don't even have a lot of text in there. And notes, oh, yep, our README is very far out of date. So I can probably base this a little bit off of some of my other projects. So we don't have... Yeah, these are more like debugging parameters than user things. I mean, technically there are some. Oh. Okay, well you can catch that whenever the next time is. So I guess requirements. That's for compiling. Limitations. Don't have a good way to refresh OAuth tokens in a client-only app. Polling rate will be limited once OAuth token expires. We need an OAuth login to get live streams, but can later poll the chat without authentication, just slower. Notifications. A browser notifications only do not work from local files, at least in Chrome or in Cognito windows, at least in Chrome. All right, so compiling. So we can probably grab some of that. Yep. YouTube client IDs. YouTube API keys and client IDs. And this is where we have to look up the documentation again. Not chat ID, chat API. So this is guides. Get credentials. No, V and block. Oh, no, yeah. Yep. V and block, paste. This is defined in source. Oh my gosh, no typo. Twitch. Source, YouTube ID. So example, client ID, YouTube API key and client ID. YouTube ID. Let's see, the proxy is, let's see, was used in refresh attempts, is related to OAuth. I tried to clean that up, but it's like I kind of want to keep the code around in case I want to do stuff with it. Related to US, refresh, which is not currently in use. We need to update this. YouTube chat notification as YouTube chat notification. And Ico Moon. Forgot to include that. Let's see, does the user really need to know anything else? That's part of the limitations. So if we eventually serve this from someplace else, that's not going to be an issue. That might be it. At which point the only thing would be, the only thing for this would be looking at if it'd be reasonable, perhaps in an optional way, to do the whole refresh loop. Which is not necessarily a high priority. Update README. So another question is, do I have anything I need to work on like right now? Alright, so I solved fails when using expired token. I might want to do something with rename support in Hostable. That was actually going to be a little bit more directly useful to me. Alright, so this is actually hosting clips. Yeah, so I'm going to take a short break and then switch over to a different project when we come back. And I've got this page that I used to look at people I might want to host. And I recently ran a case where somebody renamed, and I'm like still using the name I originally put them under, but you can't host under that name. So I actually do have to be tracking the updates. Wait, didn't I just go past that? Okay, there's the cuttlefish.
It's too unlikely. So we're using our Gurya. It gives us increased strength. Oh, frick you, game! I hate you so much!
Being wild right now. Let's see. Okay, so I think will give us a little bit more to work with. I guess now I should. I wish I did this earlier. Hi, Tashi. Thanks for stopping by. Do I make games all by myself? This.
Yeah, it's basically World War.
Oh no.
But I like... I'm the kind of person who likes to max out stats. Okay, so... I must not assigned that one before, and this I messed up on. Okay, oh, we're not at full speed. There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to slip a little nip there. Just put this iron down. I'm.
Okay, we're getting a lot of iron. That's good to see. We're finding a whole bunch in this outside area. Okay, we could get down here and use this. Anybody have any recommendations for the neural vacillator?
Because I was gonna stop.
Being wild right now. Let's see. Okay, so I think will give us a little bit more to work with. I guess now I should. I wish I did this earlier. Hi, Tashi. Thanks for stopping by. Do I make games all by myself? This.
Deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines. But always know that you'll be safe. I'll be here throughout your days. Come find me and we will play.
It's too unlikely. So we're using our Gurya. It gives us increased strength. Oh, frick you, game! I hate you so much!
Many viewers. May as well just start the game in. So, as you probably know, oxygen not included.
God. We're such nerds. I need to upload it to my server at my home, which I need to buy a new domain name. My voice cracked. What the? Do it, man.
All right. Should be back. All right, so unfortunately, I don't know if we have any of these currently. So maybe when we start out, we can like see if we can detect it. And then look for differences just to find out if there are any. So right now, the way around this is you export the data and you just go in here and change it. So that's sort of the, so it's not a big deal because it's got a pretty easy workaround, and just if a host doesn't work, then you just go in here and update it, and then re-import it. This could probably be cleaned up a little bit as well. So what we want, we need to watch compile. Hostable. So I guess my first question is, oh, I don't have Twitch in here anymore to look at the fields. So that's a little, ooh, and I shouldn't need to map new APIs for this. So that shouldn't be an issue. Alright, so he looks to code. We're looking for a live or a stream. Channel ID, user ID, game ID, title, viewer count, thumbnail. Is that right? Because I thought I had expanded all of these to the available fields. New Twitch API. Reference. Now I did hear that they kind of put an indefinite extension on the older API. I don't know if I want to go back and map that, but get streams. Oh, I guess they added started at. Must have been a new field since I mapped this. Also, community IDs. Why? I guess I never went in and fully mapped this, but it doesn't have display names, so it's not immediately relevant to me. Or maybe I didn't see it in actual responses? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I never got around to that. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do some kind of polling of the user information to double check display names. So I already have a thing where I will like update the schedule when you click on a user. That will come a little bit too late to copy paste the text, but that will give me a background update, and maybe I could do a thing where I just randomly update a couple of users every time to avoid hitting the API too hard. So do we already have fetch users by login? So I'm actually going to have to make this by login and by ID. And then the easiest thing to do, so right now, we import users, and we do a straight up append. All right, so we need to dedupe users. Which makes me wonder if perhaps I shouldn't turn that into a dict. What is my persistence? And it's just straight up list. Alright, so Hostable. So in order to do this, we need to make sure we're deduping users. So we append to the user list. We add them to pending streams, which is fine. We can refetch the stream. So we're going to turn this more into a flow. Yeah, and append it to the end of that. And then we take that complete list of users. We're going to have like... I don't even want to think about what this is going to be right now. I just want to punt that to a function. Move comment, persist, save state, import user, import game. Let's import dedupe users, list user to list user. So what do we have to do? We need to get ooh. Ooh. Maybe I want a specific function that has the new and the old. Because not having to just check everything, I think, would be helpful here. So import users. Alright, gonna be list user and a list user. Is going to be our news and our olds. So the only things we're pulling out of import user are, yeah, brand new tags. So we need to, for every new user, user, we need to maybe we can do this as well. List.map. Excuse me? Also, there's like a little apostrophe there. All right, if old dot ID equals new dot ID, then that is the ones that are the same. I also have to filter the news down to ones that are not included. then old or old dot display name equals new dot display name, else old. Now this is a new map. Ooh, we have to do this for each. So this is a reduce. Right? I'm starting to wonder if dict would be a useful internal format here. Filter map. Users equals users, state dot users. Pending streams. You could pull out the list from a dict. I am doing things that have to look a user up by user ID. I don't know if it's worth changing the persistence format. We've got a list.map to update that. And then does that give me an update? And it's a maybe, so it could be if there's nothing there. That's kind of exactly what we want. Alright, so retreat on this. Oh, we have not even saved anything here yet, so we'll just do there. Done. So convert the runtime storage of users to a dict. I've already got a dict. And maybe I should do with that with games too, I don't know. Games. Well, I do have to do some set logic on here, although you could get that. You can pull that out. But I don't know that I'm doing a whole lot of stuff that has to find a game by ID. Well, not here, I'm not. And yes, it's going to be very, very mad. Okay, so game 4 and user 4. We have to do for every single stream. The list of live streams is probably okay. I don't think I'm doing a whole lot of ID lookups on those. All right, so we have to find users. So to do this from list, I'm going to have to map. So the question is, does persist... Yeah, you know, I kind of feel like persist should roughly map the storage format. Even though I could do the conversions there. So state.users, list.map, u to u.id, u, dict dot from list, and actually, you are basically the same. Assuming games have IDs. State.users. Yeah, state.users, that's fine. Append model.users. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different. So there is a merge. 3 accumulators, wow. Oh, this is actually this is very nice. I mean, I really only care about that, I guess. So we might actually want a function for this. So add users. Pending streams. List.map ID. Well, do we have a function to get our keys? Add channel. Model.users. A single insert, update, remove is empty. Member by key. Keep a key value pair when it satisfies a predicate. Model.users. List.filter u.id not equal to user ID. This is saying, well, dict has a remove option, right? dict.remove. Dict.remove. User ID from model.users. That's going to need to get updated. That's going to need to get updated. This is going to convert to dict.values. This is going to convert to dict.values. Helix.users, state.users. All right, so we had a couple of list user. Remove comment. Dict user. And oh, look, it's a user ID. So probably update comparable if blah blah blah. Man, this could almost be inline now. Dict.update user ID users. It gets back a maybe V. This does have to be... Oh. Well, okay, so maybe that's not super convenient. If u not equal to nothing... Oh, we actually have to get out the value. Maybe user. Case maybe user of just user nothing. Oh wait, maybe dot map. User ID, so this is our little function. I don't see a better way to do that. So this might actually be enough junk to be worth having the function. This is a little bit annoying. So dict.update add comment, which is actually going to look exactly like this, except for the body here. Make that extra clear. All right, and we're looking for list user imported. It's fine. Now I have to fix the view. Oh, hostable. Add user, so remove comment. Then around this stuff, add users. Takes a list of new users and a dict of user, string user. Oh, speaking of dicts. Remove comment. String user, dict of string user. Dict of string user, dict of string user. Alright, add users, and returns a dict of string user. News, olds. Alright, so the easy way to handle the news... Oh, I'd have to turn it into a dict first. But I do have to merge existing entries, so... dict.merge. Need a bunch of functions, and then I need... list.map u to u.id u dict.fromList you actually be a function composition. The olds. Oh, and actually, this is not a composition. This is over the news. And wait. Where do we get back to results? Why do we get back result? This doesn't feel right to me. Because I expect to get back a new dict. Anyway, we've got, you know what, for documentation purposes, equals a function of user ID and user well, actually, this is, for our purposes, will be only new, which is the expected case for the most part, and a result. Oh, the initial value. So this is going to be a dict dot empty. Yeah. Okay. And a so if it's only new, then we dict dot insert, I think. User ID user into users. Wait, user ID u users. Isn't that convenient? And merge, and only this is that. So only old is going to be a dict.insert as well. And both is going to be the interesting one. where we have to take user ID, new, old, and users. I'm not sure I need this. We'll find out. So this is where we take dict.insert user ID users old with display name equals new dot display name. Dict.merge only new both only old. See if that type checks. Add users. Yep, one of my favorite typos. Function versus equal. Oh, yep. Init. You are a dict.empty. You are a dict.empty. Yep. We never did .games. State.games we mapped. List.append. Yeah. So for this one, the merge is not as interesting because you're essentially doing a insert on this. So we take our games list.map. My argument order is not friendly here, so we do have to do g to dict.insert g.id g. Actually, the only thing I'm storing is the name, so it could be a string to string, but that doesn't expand very well. In model.games. Oh, and we need to close that. We forgot that. I thought I was typing some crazy stuff there. Map. This is still in Hostable. So this is just when it still returns it as a list. Dict.keys model.games. Still hostable. We are at 101. So fetch next stream batch is doing something with users. List user. Maybe this is falling from imported. There's fetch pending streams, list.map, ID users. Oh, users equals users. Oh. Okay, so imported does have to be dict string, because that's the thing we import. And then where do we fire this? Persist.decode. Ah. Alright, so imported needs to do... Can I make... Well, no, I could make a function that takes anything. Can I make a... toUser dict, which takes a list of user to a dict of string user. Users, and it is just list dot map user to ID u dot ID u compose with dict dot from list, and I think we only do this once for games, but it has parity. List game, string game. Properly speaking, we should do that. State.users. Stop map. Oh, yep, this is a dictionary. So this is news. To user dict. Set.from list. Alright, and then imported. Well, I mean, actually, that's an appropriate type for imported. We just go down here. Actually, only you care about this. Although I could just grab the keys once we had it. My favorite error. $209 go. $209, thank you. Oh, this is technically oh. Plus, we're missing a parenthesis, though, which might be impacting the precedence there. That's what you get for copying code. So games, users, Persist, dict.values, dict.values. So that should be fine. So this is happening at 129. Oh, games. List.map. Oh, it's list.map. We need to do this for every thing there. Ooh. This is a reduce. Reduce and... Oh, no, it's a fold. I don't really care. I guess left is in theory able to use the head of it. So it's the function, which G games, and then fold all needs model.games as our starting value. And we threw, I guess this is long enough, we should throw the news in there. All right, now we're down to the view. Which, so let's start with dot users. Oh. Dict.values. All right, so user for actually probably might become trivial. Get. Oh, this is for a stream though, so there is a little bit to it. Dict.get. Stream.userid from users. And this is also stream dict.get from games, stream.gameid. All right, so user for users, games, game for, and that's all we do with it, really. All right, view 2, 3, 4. But it is list game. Oh. Dict, exposing, dict. There we go. Maybe. All right, we got to compilation. So we got all our errors from the compiler, but it was quite a slog. Alright, and there's a bunch more stuff on now, but everything seems to be running. I mean, we'll actually have to test this as we use it to some extent. Let's make sure, okay, so our export's still looking good. That's, you know, kind of an important thing to make sure we got backups. Make users and games, dicks at runtime. Alright, so now that we've done that, Hostable, when we get more users in, add users. I've already kind of done this. Okay. Because I had to rewrite this anyway. So now it's safe to fetch existing users again. So now we need the fetch. Just game batch, fetch users URL. So fetch users by login. Fetch users. Okay, so we only used that in fetch next user batch. So now we can take this and do a variant. So is this going to be just ID? So we need the users. Get users with their fancy pants scroll. Yep, it's ID. Oh, and this is users. I guess there's no real reason. It's pretty simple to support that. Fetch users by ID, IDs. Oh, and you are by login. All right, so for now, there's a UI event where we host clicked. Harbor.select. Now, what we want to do is use that as an opportunity to go poke that user. And it's going to be too late for our select. I could arrange to delay that probably. This should be a pretty fetch users by ID. User ID. Okay. So I don't know of anybody who's actually updated right now or out of sync. We could have a procedure to check that. But we can verify that if we click on somebody... Oh, and that triggered out the user update. That we requested that we got a response with the display name. Oh, you know what? Some of these might be in by a different, like, case. Oh. Wait. Yes, okay. Oh, but it removes it by name. Ah, jeez. Alright, so I know I need you. I know I need... Oldham Gaming. This is not supposed to be possible with the dictionary. So add users. So I'm curious, what the heck is going on in here? Alright, what the hooey hoo? And unfortunately, what I'm going to have to do is turn these into full function so I can insert some debug logging in here. Assuming that this is doing what I think it's doing. Fetch next user batch. Fetch users by login. Yeah, that should only be pending users. Pending users. I mean, there shouldn't be a way. Add channel. Fetch next user batch. It only reduces it. Add channel is the only place we do that. Oh, you know what? We probably go and fetch the streams. Pending streams. Yeah. So this is only the stream entries that are getting doubled. List.append. So the streams need to be... Really, I only want one stream per user. I could organize the streams as a ticked by user ID. Excuse me, I'd like to... .live streams. Live streams equals list.append. And this can just be a wholesale replacement, so that's fine. List.filter. Okay, so that actually becomes simpler there. We need to map the game ID out of live streams, which we can get values. That's not a big deal. And view. Take it to a list. We get values. That's not a big deal. Alright, so let's break this down a little bit. Update user Name on selection. Currently problem with doubling streams. So I'll make our, this is that sort of, I forget the name of it. Models that are impossible to be wrong. So if we only want one live stream per user, let's just make it one live stream per user. All right, live streams, dict string. Nope, we want the other slash. Live streams, dict.empty. Live streams, list.append. Where do we bring in games? Because that is going to be very comparable. List.foldle, stream. I guess we can do live streams because that's the internal variable. So I have a difference of name here. Dict.insert stream live streams model.live streams. Oh, and this is not stream.id, which is what we have to watch for. It is stream.user ID, I presume. Dict.empty. Remove channel. So this is just going to be dict.remove user ID from model.live streams. We want the game ID out of dict.values. And then view has to do something with this, where it is dict.values. No, back in Hostable, we've got some little typo. Oh, yeah, you were slightly different syntactical setup. And I also got to a really long line. Actually, both of them got to pretty long lines. I guess if it's comparable code, we should probably do fully comparable code. Games equals foldle. That's a big long line. Oh, actually that's not. Well, that's still about where we're going to need that. So live streams, the actual thing we do. Close the closure, and then arguments to it. Go. What the? Must have been pressing a period somewhere. Oh. It's the view function, using the model. And we're compiled. So now if we click on somebody, we get a name update. And it like goes and updates the streams as well, but so is there anybody, so already did you, that we think might have different case? Updates the events. Alright, because we're also updating the events. Yeah, I think actually we already got that. So yeah, as if we run across any more renames, we'll at least have some stopgap protection against that. So, alright, commit. Commit, commit, commit. Git commit -m, convert live streams to dict to make duplicates impossible. And you know what? It wasn't something I did with games. So I try to do some set things, but it's not actually restricting it. It's just fetching the missing ones. All right, what we're thinking of. Oh, that I might want to have a background update so it's right beforehand. But to do that, we'd actually have to return this on a different thing, so we didn't update pending streams. We've got a separate call for, well, it's by ID, doesn't necessarily imply that. Pending streams. Oh, you know what I did? Pending requests, actually. I did a fetch users by ID pending requests. Yeah. So I have to figure out how I fetch videos. Fetch videos. Another kind of backwards background update kind of thing. I guess I'd care a little bit more about that one. As far as getting there. Yeah, so that will not risk overflowing my API rate. And then it triggers out the streams, which is kind of an extra thing, but oh well. Perform user lookup with API limits. Yeah, so the only thing we're saving ourselves is a streams call, by and large. Which probably isn't a terrible thing. So the only other thing we could possibly do is try to pick some random users to update, or even a random user. But random being what it is in Elm, that might be more than I want to tackle just now. Because we do have some protection without having to like do an export and re-import thing. So, yeah. So that's a pretty good stopping place for today. Thanks to Deadly Taco, Pixelogic Dev, One Jellybean, Krokitsune, Joey Sheffer AP, Doggin Lake, Osseret Gaming, Telephoto Cry, Ned Mix Games, Sturmius Leopard, Haskin TV for hosting me. Let's see. I'm not even going to try showing my schedule. It's going to be so whacked from now on. Probably mostly weekends and U.S. Central evenings is going to be the... Sometimes it's going to be the gist of that. Oh, and hey, what do you know? We got Hostable right here. No, I didn't want to toggle in this window. Focus over here. This should be relatively recent. Never got into Skyrim myself. That looks like it's probably ending soon. Although, we're starting... Oh, this is a programming stream. Do we have any programming streams? Maybe not as popular on Saturdays? Oh, programming tutor. Oh, updated the count and bumped him. So that... yeah, maybe I do want that to not update the stream, because it's going to cause things to shuffle around when you get the updated count. Huh. Anyway. 3F001 does a programming tutor where he works on his thing, and then also invites people to do questions. So if you're interested in any programming stuff, that's a cool place to hang out, maybe learn something or ask something. Thanks for hanging out with me, and that's it for today. I'll be back with some gaming this afternoon. Bye-bye.